Everything belongs to the Lord. God has placed where you, because he loves you and has important kingdom work for you to do. So perhaps you can think about that and realize that following Christ is the way to peace, joy, and the abundant life. So when we ask how much is enough, we may actually be asking the wrong question. For believers, Christ followers, the real question is, who is enough? I hope that's an encouragement to you today. Let's dive into those questions. We'll begin in Lookout Mountain, Georgia with Charnel. Go right ahead.
Yes, I wanted to find out if online bank accounts get more interest than a local bank savings account.
Yes, they sure do. The reason is your local bank branches have a brick and mortar operation, and with that comes, the requirement that they're paying a lease or maintaining the property. They've got staff to staff them, and so that just takes some of the the cost that they would normally be able to pass along to you, and requires that they use that to cover their operating expenses. The online banks, while they have the same, in many cases, FDIC or NCUA insurance, they have the same reserve requirements. I mean, they're full-fledged banks. They're just able to take some of that savings by not having the brick and mortar operations and pay it to you in the form of higher interest rates. Because they just simply have lower overhead, and they use those high rates to attract customers. So whereas you might see 4 to 5% APY on high yield savings, you might see 0.01 to 0.5% at many local banks. So absolutely, you're going to get a better yield. Many of them are FDIC insured or NCUA insured or privately insured. I would make sure that that's the case. You are going to want to know if there's any withdrawal limits or fees. You may also, like many of our listeners, want to know that they align with your values, that they really are operated in a God-honoring way, whether that's just not supporting things that would be, antithetical to the Christian faith, or perhaps taking a portion of their profits and supporting Christian ministry, like our partners at Christian Community Credit Union. They've got a 5% high yield savings, and it's really built for believers, and so that that would be a great option there. So yeah, you are going to do better with the online options. You are, though, going to give up the ability to walk in and see somebody face to face. Does that make sense, though?
Yes, it does. Also, I have a friend that's trying to get me to invest gold in a company called GIC. Is that a good company to invest in gold, or is there a better one?
No, it's a good question. I'm not familiar necessarily with GEC. I would just say, in general, I like gold as an investment. I would be looking to buy the metal itself either by taking physical possession based on the spot price of gold. You just need to make sure that there's not a lot of markups on it when you're buying through a dealer, or you could buy a tracking investment. So there are a lot of gold, what are called ETFs, exchange traded funds. GLD would be an example. There's a dozen of them or more. And basically you'd buy and sell them, Charnel, like a stock, but they just track the underlying movement of the metal. So in this case, they have actual physical gold in vaults, but it allows you to buy and sell it just like a stock whenever the stock market is open. So it has the features of gold because you're able to benefit from the rise of the gold, the underlying precious metal, but you don't have to buy it, take possession of it, secure it, things like that. So I would say either buy it outright or buy one of the tracking stocks. When you're buying a gold investment, sometimes you're buying the miners and the other ways you can take, a position in gold. I wouldn't do that, just because you basically want to, make sure you're not getting caught up with the performance of that particular company, when really all you're trying to do is take the possession of the gold itself. But do you have any follow-up questions on that?
Yes. What was the company that you said? Did you say a certain company I should invest in gold?
Well, I didn't. What I was saying is, first question you have to decide is, do I want to buy the physical gold, where they literally mail it to you and you put a safe in your home, or you put it in a safe deposit box and you're storing it? and you might keep it forever and pass it down, or do you just want to buy one of the trackers? And what I was saying,
오도나 좋게 소리 다이제브 다이제브
overall growth or appreciation of the price of gold, then these ETFs are a great way to go. If you want to buy the physical gold, then you really need to find a reputable dealer, read a lot of reviews, find somebody who's trusted that can make that purchase for you, and then you just need to make sure you have a plan to secure it safely. So hopefully that helps you, Charnel. We appreciate your call today. Thanks for being on the program. We'll be back with more questions right after.
Every day, AFA offers biblical insight on issues that others aren't willing to touch in the hopes that you'll become a world changer. That's why we're offering an in-depth worldview training course called Activate. 13 different professors teaching 18 sessions, all available online, including a printed workbook to help you apply what you've learned and 1-year access to AFA streaming content to give you even more resources. Find out more about Activate and sign up today at activate.afa.net.
Healthcare is complicated. It doesn't have to be. If you don't love how your health insurance works, maybe it's time to leave traditional health insurance behind. Take charge of your healthcare with Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM offers you flexibility. Enroll anytime. Choose your own provider and select the program that fits your needs and budget. CHM is the original faith-based way of taking care of your medical bill costs. Learn more at chministries.org/faithfi.
This weekend on the Stand Radio,
thank you.
we'll hear how Texas and Oklahoma are leading the way in bringing the Bible back into public school classrooms and why that's good for education.
We mandated that you must use the Old Testament and the New Testament as instructional text because you cannot understand the laws of our state and our nation unless you have a basic knowledge of Old Testament and New Testament.
The Stand Radio, Saturdays at 4 and Sundays at 8 p.m. Central on AFR.
Faith in Finance is thankful for support from The Good Investor, a book by Robin John. In his book, Robin shares his journey from an immigrant child struggling in school to co-founder and CEO of Eventide Asset Management, a faith-based investment firm. This faith and work memoir seeks to inspire readers to view their work and investments as opportunities to honor God and bring blessing to the world. More information is available at goodinvestor.com. That's goodinvestor.com.
Director of the AFA Foundation, Riley Wildman.
Here in the Foundation, we help families just like yours to shore up permanent income for their retirement years through our charitable gift annuities.
Riley has served as Director of the AFA Foundation for over a decade.
Give us a call today at 800-326-4543. That's 800-326-4543, extension 345.
The AFA Foundation, the Financial Stewardship Division of the American Family Association.
Are you a financial professional looking to grow your practice while offering advice that aligns with your Christian values? By becoming a certified Kingdom Advisor, you'll gain the biblical wisdom and professional credibility to serve clients who are seeking faith-based financial guidance. Each year, more than 75,000 people search for a certified Kingdom Advisor. Join our community and share your expertise with clients looking for someone who shares their faith and values. Start your journey today by going to kingdomadvisors.com/get-certified.
Hey, great to have you with us today on Faith and Finance on American Family Radio. I'm Rob West. We're taking your calls and questions today. Let's hit right back to the phones. Let's see, Florida's where we're headed next. Hi, Chuck. Go ahead.
I just got a real quick question about a universal life policy. I'm 75 years old. I've owned it since 2001, so I've been paying into it for all these years. And I'm trying to decide if I should just stop paying premiums and let it go till the end, it'll go for about 6 more years, or whether I should take the investment, which is about the cash value of $40,000, and invest it somewhere else and do something else with it. That's really my question.
Yeah. Well, it's a great one, and it's one that folks come up to, a lot in this decision. I think you have to start with, do I still need the insurance? So if the answer is yes, you want to leave a legacy or you're trying to cover expenses, then keeping it may make sense. If no, if you have kids, they're grown, you don't have any debt, you don't have a clear need, no one's depending upon you for your income, then I think cashing it out may be more useful. If the policy could sustain itself for 6 years with no more premiums, you're buying time without the out-of-pocket cost, but after 6 years it would lapse, of course, unless you start paying again or unless, the market performs well, depending on how it's structured. The question then would be, if you did cash it out, what would you do with the $40,000? I suspect you could invest it and do better, but of course that ends the policy and any death benefit. So, I think at the end of the day, if you don't need the policy and it's going to continue to get more costly, at the very least chip away at your accumulated cash value and cause you down the road to either let it lapse or continue to invest in it, then perhaps it served its purpose. And I think this $40,000 plus anything you might add to in the future could probably be handled better elsewhere. So at the end of the day, I'm not a huge fan of this product unless there's a very specific need for it. I'd rather you just do straight investments without the added expense of the mortality and the other insurance-related costs. Does that make sense?
It does. I originally bought it for death benefit. That's what I've kept it for all these years, and now I'm starting to realize, it's just not gonna do much, and maybe I can do better with the cash value if I can get it out and go from there.
Yeah, very good. I would agree with that. Excellent. Thanks for your call, Chuck. Call anytime, sir. God bless you. We're going to stay in Florida. Tara, how can I help you?
Oh, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Yes. My son just graduated high school and he's exploring financial trading. He's currently mentored by a classmate who is at Primerica. You probably should know what I'm talking about, Primerica. So he earned his first insurance license through them, but he's planning to transfer to a university, but he said that trading, not Primerica, is his long-term goal. He has recently asked me to join Primerica to help him qualify for bonuses. I've invested some money there in a non-qualified mutual fund to that advisor. So that advisor now recommends me to transfer my 2035 target date for 01k for more aggressive management. So I need some guidance on a few things. First off, I would like to understand, do you think that my son is getting financial mentorship or is being steered toward kind of recruitment for bonuses? Or do you think moving my old 401k into that advisor care is a good thing?
Yeah, it's a great question. And what I would say is that the business model there for the Primerica advisors is one similar to what you're describing. I hear this a lot where, they get in a lot of folks who are just starting out in the business and, they're just really pushing them hard to recruit, often from friends and family members. Many of them don't kind of stay in the business. Their products, I think, generally speaking, are, seen as perhaps a little bit more expensive, and perhaps, don't perform quite as well. And so, it would not be my first place to recommend that somebody go to learn the business, where, my preference would be you find somebody who's truly going to mentor you, bring you in and teach you the business and let you get, learn the planning side, and be in the meetings in the conference room and, watch the planning, perhaps help in assisting in creating the financial plans, rather than a sales-based model where there's just a lot of focus on, going out and attracting new clients from your friends and family. So that's just been my experience. It doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong. It's certainly a legitimate company. There's probably a lot of people listening maybe who have used Primerica or currently, or even some advisors from there that are doing a great job for their clients. But I just think as a firm, that approach that you're describing is what I most commonly hear people talk about when they talk about Primerica.
Yes. Do you have in mind any educational path, anything that I can tell my son to follow so he can build real skills in financial trading?
Yeah.
What would you recommend?
Where is he in school?
He studied a community college, so he can transfer after 2 years into a university, FIU, that's his goal, Florida International University.
Okay. And has he already gone there yet, or is he just entering?
No. He just graduated. He just studied. He has a goal. He wants to start, well, and I also want to help him so he doesn't really waste too much time or